Take me back to that weekend when Schefter and Jeff Darlington reported over the weekend. I think it was Saturday at 2:30 Eastern that Tom was, going to retire. You taped the podcast then on Monday.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you discuss topics? Let us behind the scenes there of what you do in preparing for that with Tom and Larry and that topic that weekend.
I was in Mexico that weekend and my phone was blowing up and I hadn't heard from Tom. And so I didn't know anything about it. And I don't know if I'm 10th on the list, Dan, or if I'm 20th or 50th or 100, but I'm on the list. Somewhere at some point, he would have reached out and said, Jim, I'm out. I'll talk to you later or whatever it would have been. I didn't get that. So I called Tom's agent and he didn't know anything about it. I spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Brady and they didn't know anything about it. They had just spoke to Tom and Tom said that wasn't the case. So we've been involved with each other for a long time, Tom and I, doing this show. I always take Tom at his word because Tom's word is really good. So we approached the show on that Monday, which was a couple of days later, and I asked him what he was doing, and he said he hadn't decided yet. So, this isn't a show where you're supposed to badger somebody. He's the co-host of the show. You're not hitting him over the head, and it's his decision and his life. And when he came to that decision with his life, he would inform us.
What did you think when you heard on Tuesday or you saw this social media that Tom was retiring?
Thought that he decided to retire and that he decided over the course of time with Giselle and whoever else was involved with the decision, Jack, Benny, and Vivi, that it was time to do that. By the way, Dan, the club also hadn't been informed. So Jason and Bruce Arians and the Glazer family, none of them knew. And I believe they released a statement to that effect and saying Tom had told them that wasn't the case. So I guess the Tuesday morning, whatever it was, 12 or 14 hours after we did the show, that's what he had decided to do and wrote out his Instagram.
When it feels like people still don't believe it's real. Do you believe it's real?
I do, but I also believe that he doesn't know if and when that urge will come back. So I think he answered the question, to the best of his ability and really honestly when he said, never say never, because he's been doing this for 30 plus years. And he's not leaving, Dan, because there's anything physically wrong. He led the league in every statistical category for a quarterback. So it's more of an emotional thing, perhaps, that he'll be 45 and doesn't want to get pounced on by Von Miller and Aaron Donald and these guys. But I truly believe that if he wanted to play physically, he could continue to play at a very, very high level. And he's even said that probably well beyond next year, if that's what he decided.